Pokemon regions, the places we have all traveled through on our journeys to becoming a Pokemon master. Over the years, we have traveled through a total of 9 different regions. Hisui is technically Sinnoh, across a variety of different games. In these games, we travel from town to town, route to route, all while facing many different challenges along the way. One day, I was thinking about these journeys we go on through each Pokemon region, and I came up with a question. How long would it take me to run across every single Pokemon region? Before I even figured out how fast I could run, I first had to figure out how far I would have to run. So I had to figure out how many miles you travel from the beginning to end of every single Pokemon game, from Pallet Town to the Indigo Plateau. And to calculate this, isn't really any way to actually figure it out. So what I decided to do was a little bit of guesstimating. I do not suggest doing this in your math class, but for this scenario right here, it will work flawlessly. I took the fastest speed run time from the original games of every region, with the exception of Red and Blue and Gold and Silver, which I will explain why in a second. The reason as to why I chose to use the speed run times is because in a speed run, you take the most direct route possible from the beginning to end of the game. This gave me a numerical value of how long it takes to travel through each region from beginning to end. I then had to figure out how fast your character runs in each Pokemon game, which is the reason why I did not use Red and Blue and Gold and Silver, because in those games you cannot run. Although in the remakes, you could. Figuring out how fast your character runs was actually really easy, because someone much smarter than me already did the math. It is estimated that in Pokemon games, your character runs at a pace of 4 tiles per second, and it is estimated that each tile is approximately 3 feet, meaning in Pokemon, while you are running all around with your running shoes on, you are running at a speed of approximately 12 feet per second. Now this is where everything comes together. I converted 12 feet per second to miles per second and got a mile pace of 7 minutes and 20 seconds. I then took the speed run times and divided them by 7 minutes and 20 seconds to determine how many miles you travel across each region. I then added up the total miles of each region and got a whopping 263.83 miles. And this was the moment I realized I'm going to die making this video. There was no way I was going to go out and run 263.83 miles. As I was sitting there in absolute despair, I realized something. In Pokemon, you do not have a stamina bar or a limited amount of time you can sprint like you do in games such as Fortnite. You can hold down that B button for as long as you want, and as long as you don't let go, your character will keep sprinting forever. So what I decided to do was go out and run exactly 1 mile. Why 1 mile? Because if I run anything over 1 mile, I'll be gassed and slow down significantly. And in Pokemon, Red doesn't get tired from sprinting. At all. So I will go out and run the fastest mile I possibly can and compare that time to the 720 mile pace of the main characters in Pokemon and use that to figure out how long it would take me to run 263.83 miles. Or in other words, how long it would take me to run across every Pokemon region. Alright, so I haven't gone for a run since probably around 2020. For those that don't know, it's 2024, so it's been a bit. So let's see how this goes.
A few moments later. 5 minutes later.
I'm dying.
So there it was. Did I look fast? I hope it did, because I was heaving and peeving afterwards. But now that I have my mile time, I can now figure out how long it would take me to run across every Pokemon region. But before I do that, let's figure out how long it takes your character in-game, such as Red, Brendan, Dawn, and Hilbert, to run across every region. As I calculated earlier, Red's mile pace while sprinting in-game is 7 minutes and 20 seconds, meaning it would take him 32 hours and 13 minutes to run all 263.83 miles across every Pokemon region. As for myself, my mile time was, drumroll please, 6 minutes and 46 seconds, meaning it would take me 29 hours and 45 minutes to run 263.83 miles across every Pokemon region. Suck it, Red! Looks like I beat you in battling and in running. So there it is. It would take me 29 hours and 45 minutes to run across every Pokemon region. Let me know in the comments if you think you can do it faster. Make sure you're subscribed, and thanks for watching.